Hi guys, welcome back to Symbolic Logic Part 7. We are taking reference of Symbolic Logic 5th edition which was written by Irving and Copy from the University of Hawaii. Today we are going to see about syllogisms. Yes, you heard it right. So, what it is in logic? Let's see. Any deductive argument. Noted deductive argument in the sense whether it is valid or invalid. So, any deductive argument in which a conclusion is inferred only and only from two premises. So, what does this definition mean? So, we will be having two premises P1 and P2. From P1 and P2, we will be getting a conclusion. So, we also have categorical syllogism. Categorical syllogism in the sense a deductive argument consisting of three categorical propositions that contain exactly three terms, each of which occurs exactly two times of the proposition. To understand this clearly, let's look into an example. In this example, all students are smart persons. All smart persons are intelligent. So, all students are intelligent. As you see, all students are smart persons is a premise and is a one premise, and all smart persons are intelligent is a second premise. So we got two premises, and the sentence which has so in it is the conclusion. So from premise 1 and premise 2 we are concluding premise 3, which is so all students are intelligent. This is what we call it as syllogism. So, when it comes to categorical syllogism, what they are saying is a deductive argument consisting of three categorical propositions. As you can see in this example, this premise one is also a proposition which belongs to type A. What is type A? Universal affirmative is the type A. So we are having all in it, subject students in it, are in it, and predicate as smart person. So premise 2 belongs to which type of proposition? Premise 2 also belongs to type A. That means it belongs to universal affirmative proposition. So the conclusion or premise, we can conclude, we can say this third as conclusion or premise 3. So it also has all in it, and subject as students, predicate as intelligent, and are in it. So the third premise also belongs to the proposition A type, which is universal affirmative. So, so we are seeing these three are the propositions, categorical propositions. So we got three categorical proposition that contain exactly three terms. So in this example, we got three terms. Student is a term, first one term. Smart person is the second term. Intelligent is the third term. So we got three terms, each of which occurs exactly two times of the proposition. As you see, each term is occurring two times. Student, student, smart person, intelligent, intelligent. So this is what we call it as categorical syllogism, a deductive argument consisting of three categorical proposition. Number 1, number 2, and number 3 that contain exactly three terms, each of which occurs exactly two times of the proposition. So, furthermore, we also have a different terms for syllogism, different terms in syllogism. So, let's see what is it. A standard form categorical proposition contain exactly three terms. As we seen in this, we can see a categorical syllogism will have three terms. So we are differentiating three terms as major, minor, and middle term. So the in the three terms, one term will be a major term, one term will be a minor term, and one term will be a middle term. So let's see what are these terms about. So major term, the term that occurs as the predicate of the conclusion, is the major term of the syllogism. So let's try this in an example. A term that occurs as a predicate of the conclusion. So this is the conclusion. So all students are intelligent. The third premise is the conclusion. So we found conclusion. The term that occurs as a predicate of the conclusion. So what is the predicate in the conclusion sentence? Students is a subject and intelligent is the predicate. So we found that predicate is intelligent, is called as major term. So in the conclusion, so all students are intelligent. The predicate term, which is intelligent, is a major term. So in this inference, the major term is intelligent. Let's see what is the minor term about. A term that occurs as the subject of the conclusion is called the minor term. So what is the conclusion? So all students are intelligent is the conclusion. In that conclusion, students is the subject. So subject is the minor term. So if we see the middle term which never occurs in conclusion but appears in both the premises is the middle term. So the term which does not appear in the conclusion is smart person. But the smart person, the term smart person is appearing in both the premises. So it is the middle term. So in this example, the predicate of the conclusion, intelligent, is the major term, and the subject of the conclusion, student, is the minor term, and smart person, which does not occur in conclusion but appears in the two premises, is the middle term. I hope you understand what these terms in syllogism. We also have parts in syllogism. Let's see what is it. Parts of a standard form categorical syllogism. We have three parts. One is major premise, another one is a minor premise, and another one is the conclusion. So, what is major premise? The premise that contains the major term, that means predicate of the conclusion, is the major premise. As I said before, we will be having two premises in syllogism, right? So in this, the conclusion will be derived from the first two premises. So either one premise will be major and the another will be minor. So we need to find which one is the minor premise and which one is the major premise. So if you want to find a major premise, the premise that contains a major term is the major premise, and the premise that contains the minor term is the minor premise. But before concluding which has major term and minor term, we should be able to find which is the major term and minor term to conclude major premise and minor premise. I'm right. So as we saw before, predicate of a conclusion is the major term. So that premise will be major premise, and subject of conclusion. So the subject of conclusion is the minor term, and and the premise which contains the minor term is the minor premise. As we know, the conclusion which we take from major and minor premise is the conclusion. The position of other premises entirely depend on the subject and predicate of the conclusion. As we seen in the two slides, we can see a standard form categorical proposition contain exactly three terms. So in the next slide too, we can see parts of standard form categorical syllogism. So what is this standard form? Let's see. The form in which syllogism is said to be when its premises and conclusion are all standard form categorical propositions, that means A, E, or O, and are arranged in standard order. major premise, then minor premise, then conclusion. This format is called standard form. In the next video, we will be studying deep about what is the standard form and what is the order of the premise.